Now, protesters and Muslim parents descended on a school in East London earlier after pupils were banned from wearing Palestinian badges and bringing flags into the classroom.
The parents have accused teaching staff of supporting Israel.
Families must unite.
Education is a human right.
Education is a human right.
Yahya's education is under attack. What do? Stand up and fight back, right? Yahya's education is under attack.
Education is under attack.
TalkTV's correspondent Miranda Shunker is outside the school for us now. Hi, Miranda. I see that the demonstrators don't seem to be there anymore. Have they dispersed? And if so, why?
Absolutely, that is the case. It is all quiet here now, but it was a very different story about 8 o'clock this morning when around couple of hundred people really gathered outside Barclay Primary School here in the area of Leyton in East London. And they really wanted to express their upset and their incomprehension about saying that they feel that their pupils, their students, their sons and daughters have the right to be able to express their solidarity and support for the Palestinian cause and what's going on in Gaza right now. Understandably, perhaps because they have friends, relatives, family members who are there, stuck there now, and maybe even their parents here are from that particular area as well. So hundreds of people gathered here. It was a pretty noisy protest. They said they were going to do it, but the school has taken a very firm line here. And it all started a few weeks ago when students started coming in wearing colours, flags, badges and stickers supporting the movement. And essentially the school took a hard line on it. They put out a statement saying that we're objecting to any kind of position, any kind of political beliefs being held in school. They want to be deliberately apolitical to show respect for everybody who attends the school, of course. But parents here are not having that. They didn't accept it at all. And this protest took place today. And what happened was the school eventually shut its doors. They said we're having to close the school early as a result. They put out a statement saying the unwarranted escalation of direct threats against staff and the school today based on misrepresentations, falsehoods and malicious fabrications. The Leyton Academy Trust will be closing the Barclay Primary School to all parents and pupils for the Christmas break. Now, parents here have made the argument that, well, you didn't take this position over the Ukraine conflict. You were very sympathetic and supportive about the Ukrainian people and the plight that they were under in that particular conflict. So why can't people express their views and sympathies for what is going on and what is escalating over in the Gaza Strip right now? But parents here say the matter isn't over. They may well close the school for the Christmas break, but in fact, they will be back in January and they will want answers on this because they simply see it as unfair.
Thank you, Miranda. Well, we're still joined in the studio by TalkTV political correspondent Alicia Fitzgerald. Alicia, I mean, look, let's call it what it is. When you look at the demography of the protesters there and the community that they represent, it's very clear that this is, one particular cohort of people that isn't necessarily representative of the entire nation's population. And surely a primary school is no place for this sort of politics or getting into the nitty-gritty, frankly, of a really horrible war.
This is it. And just to pick up on something that Miranda said, and it's the comparison between the Ukraine war and the Israel-Hamas war, sorry. And the difference there is how it translates in the UK. So Israel versus Hamas has become a really religion-based debate here. It's been Jewish people, Muslim people, and there's been loads of issues with anti-Semitism and just general. It's become really, really nasty, quite often on both sides of that debate. That didn't happen with the Ukraine-Russia war. It's not a religious war, so it was less likely for people to have such a strong personal affinity to it. Most people obviously agreed that they were on Ukraine's side. There was less of a big division in the UK. With this war, it's totally different. There will be children at that primary school who are Jewish. There'll probably be children who are Muslim as well. And that is going to create loads of issues when you start bringing this stuff into it.
And the irony is that, did you hear those parents chanting that education is a human right? Well, the kids at that school aren't getting any education right now because they stormed the school and forced the school to close down. So there's a sort of inherent contradiction there, isn't there?
Definitely, and generally I feel like most people will agree that protesting outside of primary school isn't probably the best choice of location for a protest. Obviously everyone has the right to protest, it's legal, it's perfectly fine to do so, but outside of primary school is probably a bit more dubious.
And just to clarify, the school's line is, you know, we don't want to show favour to either side. In fact, it's a primary school, for God's sake. You know, discussions about Palestine and Israel are maybe above the average sort of 5 or 6 year old's pay grade.
Definitely, and I'm sure lots of the staff will be worried that it will turn into something nasty for certain children. I'm sure they'll be worried that, you know, people on the pro-Palestine side will start hearing maybe anti-Semitic terms and start using those, like copying them from people older than them. And the same goes the other way, and it could create massive rifts within these really, really young children.
Think about the kids. Think about the kids here.